Hello, good evening, and welcome to my Property Place live chat. It's Saturday night. It's very, very cozy. It's raining outside. I so feel wants to take a go to nap right now. But yep, the show must go on. Okay, we have one more hour of very, very exciting information that we're going to provide today through My Property Place live chat. If you just joined My Property Place and this is the first time you're joining, welcome to My Property Place live chat. What we do here, this is a discussion forum. So in a discussion forum like this, we talk about property investment, anything that everything's got to do with property investment. And today we are going to cover something about how to protect your assets and all the hard work about when you invest in properties and how to protect them so that eventually you can then leave it for your loved ones. After all, we work as parents. I'm a parent. That's what I do as well. We want to leave something for our children and family. Okay, so my property place runs every Saturday, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. But however, I think I've just recently ran a poll, and there's a lot of requests from my listeners that I changed the show to a different day. So the poll results came. I'm still running the poll, but very high likely I might change it to a Saturday night. That's when most of you guys are just getting home from work and you stay home, you don't go out, because Saturday night is like tonight. A lot of people are like out there clubbing, going to the mama, because now MCO is over, right? People are out there. So but having said that, we'll see. It's going to happen not immediately but in a short while. So that's what we're going to do about. And for more today, we're going to cover a lot of topic with some of our specialists in this industry. And let's see how we go from tonight. Welcome to My Property Place. Well, if you just joined, my name is Timothy. I'm your host for tonight, and I'd like to welcome my guests for tonight. I have Jessica, Sim, Daniel, and also Kaka. Welcome to the show, guys, ladies and gentlemen, all the good-looking ones. And okay, I'd just like to get the only gentleman, gentleman guest here to introduce yourself. Daniel, why don't you tell me more about yourself?
Oh, hi, Tim. Very good evening to everyone. Yep, I'm Daniel. So I've been actually 10 years in the insurance line, but I have actually ventured to properties. And because one of the main reasons I've always wanted to invest in properties. So by being in the industry, I get to know the good deals and so forth and to learn a lot of how to invest in properties. So that's pretty much the gist about me, lah.
That's good. That's good. I think the best way for you to know about property is to be in the property line, right?
Yes,
So
I do agree on
surely
that.
you learn a lot about the secrets and what are the best place to invest and things like that.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe we move on to Jessica. Jessica, why don't you tell us more about yourself, Jessica?
Hello, everyone. Thank you, team, for having us tonight to have this discussion forum. So I've been in the insurance industry for nearly for 4 years now. So it's my pleasure, and I always help my professional clients to actually save time to sort out their financial portfolios while protecting their incomes. Thank you.
I think, Jessica, over the years you have been achieving quite a lot in this industry, right?
Yeah, some accolades.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty, maybe we can hear a lot more about it later. Okay, Kaka, the special guest here. Kaka, why don't you tell us about yourself as well?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Yeah, hope everyone have a good evening. And thank you, team, for having us tonight to have your this show with everyone about property and also insurance. So I have been in this insurance industry for 6 years. Yeah, and within this 6 years, actually, I qualified MDRT for 3 times with one out of the table. And my specialty also, probably same as Jessica, also what we want to do is just make a difference in people's life.
I think it's very exciting sometimes to be able to do what we are passionate about. Like I think four of us here, we all have quite similar passion is to help people solve their problems, come up with solutions. In fact, the very reason for this show is to just to provide more information to people in a crisis time like this. These are some of the things that we, as a professional in our field, are able to do that. Okay. I'm actually very honored to have three of you here, especially Kaka. Kaka has been guiding and teaching a lot of people from the same industry for quite a while, and you have taught quite a lot of people about this industry. And how do you feel right now, Kaka, about this current situation, the industry? How's it going right now? Is insurance really helping people with their problems right now?
Yes, I think okay, basically right during the pandemic, like okay, some people actually in our insurance line, we always feel that some people say, oh, now market is bad, like the virus, economic crisis, all these things. But think about it, you know, even there's a virus, no virus, there's a pandemic or no pandemic, basically people will still die, right? People will still fall sick, correct? We as the parents, our children still need to go to school, and we as the parents also, can you hear me? Sorry,
Yes, loud and clear, no worries.
Yeah, that's good.
because Jessica can hear. Yeah. Then after that, for us, for example, for kids, right? Our kids also will go to school. Then for us also, we need to plan our retirement planning, right? Regardless there's a virus or not. So basically, it doesn't really hit our industry because the need for insurance will never end, regardless the situation. Yeah. And at the same time, I think people are more responsive to insurance because they understand that, sometimes when your ability to actually make an income suddenly stop. Like what most people facing now. They are not able to work for a
Mm,
couple of months. They are not able to actually get an income for a couple of months. But they keep spending their money to pay for the expenses.
yeah.
For example, like a lot of parents, they also start talking, can I just get the school to waive the school fee? Because virtual learning, it doesn't cost that much. But school will just say that I'm so sorry, I can give you the most I can give you is 10% discount. That's it. Yeah. So that are the things that people will still care about insurance and they even are responsive to it. And they at least understand the feeling of not getting an income in case something happens.
Hmm, it's true. I agree. I agree. In fact, my kid's school also, I was asking for discount, and they said that actually we are more broke than you. So I so paiseh want to ask them for any more discount. Okay,
Yeah.
it's true. I think right now, quite a lot of people out there are facing a lot of problem. As I posted in my link when I sent out this show, right? A recent survey by Job Street says that almost 2 million people, Malaysian people, are going to lose their job in this coming few months. 2 million people, okay, in Malaysia alone. So this is quite a staggering number, and not only that, I think 35% of the Malaysians currently existingly already facing salary cuts. Okay, up to 30%. My own uncle works in a furniture company. 50% salary cut for 6 months, non-negotiable. It's either that or you lose the job. So I think I was a bit shocked lah, because like people, for us, we don't have a fixed salary. We don't feel this pain because we are out there. We earn our own income. But for people who are in a fixed salary base, it's really very scary. Okay, but surprisingly, Daniel, correct me if I'm wrong. The property market, real estate industry out there is still very active. A lot of every weekend is like all the sales gallery packed with people. Daniel, what do you think?
Yeah, actually, if you go around, it's like I put in any crisis, someone will be. I mean, there is majority, maybe they are kind of suffering from right now, but from then there is also people who are making a lot of money because, as you can see, in most gallery, there's packed with people, and I always put this way: when it comes to a crisis, it becomes an opportunity. So people with money is a good time to buy in lah, because things are bad, things are low, people are willing to sell on a lower rate, and it becomes the thing is leveraging on time. So the rich gets richer like in the end of the day.
Okay, maybe the rich people won't agree what you say, but then again, yeah, it's true. Okay, just for the benefit of the three of you, right? I'm also in the real estate industry. Let me just give you a view of what the current people. They actually, I what I noticed is that more younger people are coming out to buy property. I went to the sales gallery. I noticed that most of the couples, most of them young couples, they come out. They are talking age between 20 plus to about 40 plus. I have recently just transacted one condo, price about 700 over thousand, okay, in somewhere in PJ. The couple 27 years old only, okay, and it's their first property. They are buying together. And I noticed some other things. A lot more buyers are looking at landed property if they can afford. Okay, that is their first choice. Landed property with more space and more extra room so they can have home office. This was what my observation say. If they are looking at condos, they want condo with very good maintenance and security, that the guards are doing their job, checking, scanning, and stuff like that. So these are some of the questions that these buyers will actually ask. And of course, one more very important thing nowadays, want to buy property, must ask whether the area Wi-Fi strong or not. So many buyers are asking that question. So yeah, so that's what my observation recently in a couple of months. Um, I think beside health concerns, a lot of people are very concerned about health now. The worst fear that people face is actually running out of money, right? Okay, because now people don't get job, no businesses. They are going to run out of money very soon because savings are running out. People spend more time on how to make money, but one thing people forget to do, they forget to figure out whatever they existingly have, how to protect it. Because a person like myself can continue to go out and earn money, but what if I cannot earn? I stop earning money for whatever reason. I mean, every day I go out, every day 4 hours. When we go out, are we facing risks outside? If you don't wear a mask, we face risk every day. Okay, and we don't know what we bring back. So I think more and more people should be also very concerned about how to protect what we have. Maybe Jessica, can you maybe just share with us, when I say protecting what we have, or assets, I would say lah, right? How do we protect our assets?
Actually, how when we talk about assets protection, there's actually a few ways. One of it is actually through insurance, so that the sum assured will actually, if in the event of critical illness happening, when a person are not able to work for a prolonged period of time, more than 1 year at usually, then at least the standard of living of the family will not have to change because of the illness, the breadwinner not being able to bring back income to the family, because the critical illness payout will be able to keep the family afloat until the breadwinner recover their health and gets back to work. So that's one of the way how insurance can come in as a form of income protection for the family.
Insurance, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are many. You know what, recently I just learned, right? I learned this from Kaka, from some like Jessica, you all, that insurance is not, it's just a word, but it's a very flexible thing that you can actually creatively mold it to your specific requirements. Am I right to say that?
Yes, definitely.
Because yeah, because we see the terms of the words, I don't know what, rider lah, liability insurance lah, disability insurance. There's so many of it. As a layman, I mean, I have to admit this, right? I tried to become an insurance agent many years ago. I think 30 years ago, when I just finished school. I just told you my age, right? I took the exam. My friend bluffed me and told me that, hey, this exam very easy. You just take the exam, you become agent. I failed my exam.
Easy,
I failed the
right?
exam. I don't know what. No, I failed. I failed the exam. So you see, that's why I didn't become insurance agent not until today, lor. so but yeah, that's something very paiseh to say. But yeah, that's why that I think there's so many things to learn. Uh, right now, I think there is personal insurance. I know personal insurance, right? That's what we use to protect ourselves. There is also liability insurance, like whatever we have or whatever we owe. How do you protect it? Disability, and there's medical. Maybe, uh, Kaka, can you share what is there such thing as, like, what is the most important insurance to me? Like me, like I'm a business owner. What's the most important insurance I should take?
Okay, the first very important insurance that you need to take, right? Okay, let's say you as a breadwinner. Most of actually our clients, they also have a business outside, right or not? So, but just try to make it separate about business income and your personal income. That's how that if you want to actually start protecting, maybe you start protecting your family first. Like your income. The first thing is your income
Mm,
because your family members. Okay, for example, if you are, let's say, the breadwinner of the family, your wife, let's say, is not working. Your wife, let's say, depend on you. You have children, right? Even how much you earn, like, it's very important to them because they depend on your income. Right or not? Means that basically their dreams, their goals in the future are built by your income. Right or not? When your income still continue, basically their dreams will not be affected. But have you thought about it? Is that if your income stop, what will happen to them? Right? What will happen to them? Do you have a backup plan? What is your plan B? If really your income stop, means that you need to have a somewhere to actually replace your income. So where that somewhere come from? Does that come from your hard saving, which is the cash that you have in the bank, or is the property? Can be the property because maybe you might be thinking that if really one day my income stop, doesn't matter, I can actually sell my property, right? But do you think that when you
Mm.
need money the most, can you sell the property immediately? Right. Yeah. But one thing is that we always, okay, for us, we don't really actually educate our client only about insurance. It's more like about financial planning. Honestly, if financial planning only
Mm.
based on insurance means that your financial portfolio is not balanced. If you want to have a balanced financial planning, right, you still need to have another asset classification in your financial planning, which is one of it is a property. You still need to have this is fine because when you have all insurance at the end become not balanced anymore. So what you need to do is just balance out from certain is the something that you can see tangible, you really can
Mm.
see it. You do not need to liquidate it when you need money, it's fine. Then another part is the insurance to enhance it in case that you can't. For example, in our life there's so many crises, right? When you talk about crisis, people always tend to forget about there are so many crises in our life. Do you agree with me, Tim?
Yes, it's
Can
true.
you yeah, can you name to me
It's
like
true.
what are the crises in our life?
Well, currently, the biggest crisis is COVID-19. I think that's the biggest crisis we have right now.
Can you
And
think of any crisis that you will not be able to handle if it happened in our life? There's so many crises. Can you think of
yes,
that?
it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One.
I think a lot of time crisis people like that. I think one of the reasons people don't take this very. There are a lot of people who find insurance important, but so there are also some people who don't take it very seriously because they try to avoid it. Because to them it's like, oh, bad thing, I don't want to talk about it. So I would say people like passing, like you, if you pass away, that's definitely one of the biggest one, not because you totally stop, and leave everyone everything behind. Okay, so
Correct.
that's one of the major ones. But also the other worst one will be like you are hanging there, you're still there, but you can't work. I think that's something that I worry more.
Yeah. Because what happened is that sometimes, this breadwinner supposed to actually bring an income to the family. But because something happened to this person become a
Mm,
burden to the family. Not bring an income, It's even worse
correct.
now, it becomes a burden for the family.
Mm,
That's how if really this thing happen, we must actually find a plan B. Same goes to property. So for example, most of our clients, they definitely have a property. If our clients don't buy property, we also will say something, we will educate them and encourage them, please buy property because you must have something, like tangible. Because you cannot have a not a balanced portfolio. You need to have a balanced portfolio in order to do a proper financial planning, a balanced portfolio.
mm,
And one of it is still
mm,
property. One of the asset classification is still property, right? So you see, if you think that people work hard to actually pay a down payment to get this property, to own this property, definitely this property means so much to you, right? Then the next step, what you need to do is just to protect this property. But using what kind of mechanism? That is the question. What
mm.
kind of mechanism or what kind of way you can use to actually protect this property? Because for
That is
example,
correct.
team
Correct.
yeah, like for example, like you mentioned, Kaka, if for example like me, what kind of insurance I need? Okay, team, for example, you have a 5 property and each property costs 1 million. So you have a 5 million, right? And your wife is not working, you have a 2 children. So who's going to pay for all the installment? You, right? Right. So if something
That's
happened to
right.
you, do you want your family member to still hold on to this property?
If it's fully paid up, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So wait, okay, because you can say that a majority people might not actually buy property with full cash. No, no. A lot of them actually you can say
Yeah,
80%
that's
are
right.
actually
That's right.
yeah. So basically, you want your family member to hold on to this property because this is your hard-earned money that actually you have this 5 property in hand.
Correct.
But if something happens to you,
Correct.
you want your wife to protect this 5 property, ma. How are you going to ask your wife to protect it whereby she doesn't even earn, she doesn't even work, she never even go for employment.
Exactly.
If now she go back to
Exactly.
employment as a housewife,
In a
you
way,
think how
yeah, in a way, I'm transferring my burden to her, right?
exactly? Yeah. So you have to find a way. For example, why insurance only step in is because of your wife need to have a lump sum of money to help her to settle all the installment, or maybe to just pay out the cash. Just pay. Just
Mm.
fully just clear all the loan. At least at the end of the day, all these 5 property belongs to her, and she do not need even to worry about installment anymore because you are leaving her an asset. You are not leaving her a liability anymore. But when still on loan means that you are leaving her a liability, not just an asset,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, a liability.
Yes. Oh, yes. Don't leave
Correct.
your
Yeah.
loved
Correct.
one.
Correct.
Leave a loved
Yeah,
one.
because
Yeah.
yeah, because like what Kaka mentioned, actually I remember one of my client, this Datin lah, this Datin.
Yeah,
So her
Daniel, do you want to add
husband,
something?
yeah. So what happened is that this Datin left like, I mean the husband who's a Dato who has a lot of properties. So when he passed away, of course the property is all to transfer to her lah. So good thing is he bought a 2 million coverage, 2 million coverage. So not too bad. I mean most Malaysia do not have that much. But what happened is this: that 8 properties or her total installment is 100,000 a month. So just imagine, right? Just imagine how long would she last for that 2 million. So in the end, she was telling me, like, oh my God, yeah, it's good that he left me 8 properties. Most people say, wow, I got so many properties. But they don't understand is that if you do not have sufficient insurance, this property becomes a burden, it not become an asset. And what's worse, if she cannot pay after, let's say, she finish all her resources, right? Then it's all taken back by the bank. So whatever effort you have put, whatever thing you have gone, it will just be all gone back to the bank. Pretty much is to lelong or to mortgage or so whatsoever to both lah. So I think that's a very good point what Kaka has made, that in terms that a lot of people tend to invest a lot, buy a lot in terms of asset, and you mentioned that property is, I mean, insurance was never in terms on the first thought of mind, but it has to go in a balance in the portfolio, meaning that if you have amount of property, amount of asset, you also need to have a safety net in terms of insurance, which I totally agree from Kaka's point of view.
Mm. Yeah, in a layman term, I think we are using a lot. You guys are using a lot of very changgay insurance term, breadwinner lah, liability lah. Okay, to layman term, I think what we're trying to say is, my favorite word: don't put all the eggs in one basket. Okay, but if you were to put your eggs in many different basket, you have to make sure that you're using a good basket. don't use a lousy basket that go lubang on, or something like that.
Yeah, we call it the safety net. As long you have a
Yeah.
safety net, it'll be fine. Then the assets becomes an asset, not a liability.
Okay, so we're still talking about how to protect your asset. So the first thing just now we all covered, Jessica covered, was we need to have insurance. Okay, insurance is a good way to insure our asset, to make sure that it's everything is protected. Do you all know? I don't know if this is, correct me if I'm wrong. The second way that you can protect your asset, right, is to don't get a divorce. Because, I don't know. Some when I always hear all these like big tycoons or celebrities or movie stars, when they divorce, right, they have to give a portion of their assets to their other half. Is that applicable in Malaysia? The rules?
Yes,
As far as I
definitely.
know, yeah. If it's I heard if it's infidelity, whoever is the one that's paying has an upper hand in terms of regarding assets. But if you say that interpreting assets, it depends which boat are you in lah. Like I heard the story is someone from Hong Kong. I think the billionaire was caught cheating or something like that, and the wife received something like 3 billion. I mean, that's a good deal for her lah. I don't think that's a loss of asset for her lah. You know what I mean? It's
Oh
slightly
no,
she
I'm
became
talking for the guy lah.
but for in the sense that if you say it depends which boat are you in lah. For the wife, she received 3 billion. I think for the rest of life, she just have to worry in terms of finances lah.
Okay, I think we are not going to go around to teach the women to make sure you marry a rich husband so that you can get signed prenuptial. Yeah. So yeah, that is, I think, for those of you who are not married, if you're going to get married, yeah, you have to think of this, consider this kind of things. But if you are married, make sure that you stay what stay
Be
safe.
truthful. Be truthful.
Okay, be truthful. Okay. I think another the third one will be to track your spending, especially for people who are retired. They will think that I'm retired. I'd like to continue spending my money, But the time is suddenly maybe they overspend and then they run out of money is also something of a concern as well. So these are some of the ways that we want to do to protect assets. Maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to dwell further into the insurance part. And one of the things that people talk about just now is personal insurance is basically for ourselves when we cannot work, and we'll have to buy a personal insurance to protect ourselves. But there's also medical insurance. What does it do? Maybe Jessica, you can share with us what does medical insurance do?
Okay, no problem. So a lot of people out there, I have come across clients or prospects who actually are confused about between what's the difference between life insurance and medical insurance, or even mortgage insurance. So the thing with medical insurance is a lot of people think that it's everyone also got medical card out there, lah. Am I right? Most people, lah. Am I right?
Yeah.
And they, as long as I have a medical card, then I'm invincible already. Okay, because they think I have at least a 1 million medical card. Am I right? So they think that they are worth 1 million. The thing is, the 1 million never comes to you. It always goes directly to the hospitals.
And I also just want to add, especially if you're an employee, man, because
Yes,
I know recently I was also employed recently. If you're an employee, you've got this medical card from the employment, you feel like wow, invisible, like what you say, anytime, some guarantee, give birth, take everything, sick also no problem, everything taken care of. So people like them will never think that they need to get something for themselves because everything covered by company, ma. The day that you stop working for the company, that's where you realize that shoot, I don't have anything with me.
exactly. So, like with the recent COVID, we know there has been cases where people are laid off from their work,
Hmm.
and they suddenly find that they are without the protection that they used to have from the company. And with no salary right now, and to take on existing to take on a new medical card, it could prove to be a challenge as well. And maybe when they could have taken it when they are younger, it could have been cheaper with no pre-existing conditions. Whereas now, if they are like 30 something or 40, I'm sure you know that with the current lifestyle of people nowadays, they could easily have the three things, which is like high cholesterol, high blood pressure, high blood sugar. Am I right?
Yeah.
Especially with Malaysia being a food country. Am I right? So it becomes a unforeseen circumstances that actually they didn't think that it could happen to them. Even a high flyer, like there's so many pilots are being affected right now. They're not being called back to work
Oh
yet.
yes. Yes.
So these people are actually income earners, and they could have been relying on the insurance that's being provided by the company. But what's going to happen right now? So it's actually a very good wake up call. It may not be too late yet. Too late is never too late in that sense, lah. It's still possible. That's what I would say.
It's also very, very good news nowadays that, like Daniel, you probably will notice that a lot more young people are quite aware of the importance of making sure that their financial status is well-being is taken care of. So a lot more people are aware of these kind of things. Those days, people are quite ignoring these kind of things. Like Daniel, you see the clients that you meet, the buyers that you meet, most of them, they are very aware. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because right now people are a little bit getting a more savvy that you get your access to Google. You get access to people telling you about how to do your financial planning, how to actually secure your assets. So people are a little bit more educated nowadays. And on top of that, it's always like what Jessica has mentioned. The main thing, the first foundation that most people would have is a medical card. But I feel in terms of my own opinion, based if you actually not just my opinion, if you check in terms of statistic, a lot of people tend to neglect the other part of insurance, which you
Mm,
could go in terms on your life insurance or even
mm,
the critical illness insurance. That is in
mm,
terms, yeah. So majority, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is only about 50,000 coverage of most Malaysian. And in the end of the day, team, 50,000, how long can it take care of you in the end of the day? or what can it get for you, especially in the inflation what we are living in, especially in
Talk,
Malaysia lah.
Talking about critical illness, right? Maybe like Kaka or Jessica, right? COVID-19, is it considered a critical illness or what? Normal illness? If you go to hospitalize because of COVID-19.
Okay, for the COVID-19, right, now the definition is not under critical illness yet. Okay, yet we're not sure because, but it's
It's
just
still
that,
very new,
yeah,
right?
the thing is that a lot of, actually, even in other countries, right, it start actually showing that those people who are infected with COVID-19, they might not be even able to get themselves a critical illness coverage anymore. Yeah, so now is the
Wow.
great area, like we also thinking is that, like what if, if let's say the next COVID-19 patient, for example, touch wood, is someone, in I don't know, maybe
Ah,
in not this chat room lah. I mean, someone that you know, and this person, for example, currently she or he might only have, for example, 200,000 critical illness coverage, and this person is only 35 years old, for example. So do you think that this person can rely on this 200,000 critical illness coverage for the rest of the life?
cannot.
No choice. They might not be able to buy anymore because actually once all these COVID-19 survivor, right, basically they do not know what kind of actually damage is have impacted them due to the virus. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
correct. It can be very serious.
yeah, even your organs and everything. So that's why the awareness is not really there yet. People thought that, okay, if let's say I touch wood, I'm really bad luck, I'm COVID-19 survivor, then it's okay. I will buy. I recover already. I will buy critical illness coverage. But now the question is that even you have the money, you might not even be able getting it. Yeah.
So let me just repeat what you just said, Kaka. You're saying that if somebody like us, right, go out there and we are detected positive, immediately, if let's say you want to go and buy insurance, it's already currently effective that you may not get the policy.
Now we are not
You
sure.
saying
Yeah,
that?
it might be,
Not
it
sure,
might be,
not sure.
yes, might be happening because it might actually go towards that area that because until now there's no like really COVID-19 people apply and actually get approval. Yeah, we do not know. Yeah, so
I think
that is,
whatever you
yeah,
probably got on hold.
yeah. So it's
To
pretty
add,
much very hard to handle. Yeah, we do not know.
Yeah, Jessica, you want to say something?
to add on to Kaka's explanation, like for example, there actually has a lot of studies out there right now on COVID-19 survivors. There has actually extensive damages to the vital organs, especially
Mm,
lungs and
mm,
so on and so forth. That's why there's a likelihood of COVID-19 survivors being postponed or being rejected on a taking on extra or new insurance later on. That's what we foresee could happen. It's not happening yet, but we've heard that in some other countries aside from Malaysia that is actually looking into putting off the applications for COVID-19 survivors actually.
Yeah, because I think we do not know a lot of things we don't know. We don't know if there's going to be recurring symptoms and stuff like that because we are hearing so many different news from different countries that some of these cases, right, they have cured already but suddenly happen again. So that's why I think insurance company right now also cannot make any decisions on these kind of things. Okay, one more thing that I want to ask. We are keep talking about personal. What about companies? There are some companies when you have business partners and stuff like that. Right? So when let's say for example two business partners, one of them pass away or sick or cannot work, right? Is there insurance to protect partnerships in companies like that? Maybe Kaka, you can share with us a little bit of these kind of things.
Yeah, that is actually what we call it as a buy and sell agreement. Okay, so what happened is, for example, team, me and you are maybe a partner in this company. Okay, for
I wish
example,
one day can one day. I wish.
maybe we just set up a company, then it's owned by me and you. Okay, so for example, I have 50% share, you also have a 50% share. So for example, our startup capital, let's say 200,000. Okay, then our business doing exceptionally well. Maybe after that, now our net worth become like 1 million. Okay, for example, 1 million. So you see, so basically, right, on paper, I'm entitled for 500,000. You entitled for 500,000, right? Because now the net worth 1 million. So if let's say something happened to me, okay, I'm not around anymore, right? So do you think that my husband actually will come and ask, hey, Tim, actually Kaka have that, worth 500,000, can I just, sell off my share, then you just give me 500,000 now? Because all
Mm.
you want to step in and to replace her. You see, you have the two options. Whether you want to work with my husband or you actually want to pay this 500,000 to him immediately and you take all the share belongs to you.
Mm.
But think about it, you might not have the 1 million in cash, or maybe you need this cash to
Yeah,
actually expand into your
it's
business.
true. It's true.
Right?
It's
I mean,
true.
you don't have so much from 200,000 to 1 million. Basically, you have the opportunity to expand your business. But
Mm.
are you going to expand or you going to pay money to my husband? No, no.
Yeah.
So you say this guy keep coming and keep asking money. If not, then he will want to actually be my business partner. I can work with Kaka, but I might not be able to work with him. You know,
Yes.
like him. I don't know, right or not. So you think that you will be like dilemma now. Like you don't know what is going to do next. Should you
Mm.
actually, all your cash to actually pay him to just shut him off? Okay, done already, settle already. You're not sure that you're going to do that or not. But if you don't do that, then he say that he want to step in, right or not? That's how the buy and sell agreement has been set up before the two of the shareholder, I mean like the directors, actually not around one day.
All right.
Yeah. At least, if there's a pre-agreed that something happened to Kaka, for example, right? The insurance company will pay this amount of cash to the, let's say, the beneficiary in exchange of the share that this person has back to the surviving partner.
Is this signed as an individual between the two partners, or is this a MOU for the company?
It's actually related from the buy and sell agreement and the insurance. So actually, you have to engage a lawyer and also the company secretary of our Sim and Danial. Yeah, you have to
Mm.
do all this. Yeah, you cannot do
Okay. Okay.
myself. Yeah, you still need to have a buy and sell agreement, and not every lawyer knows how to do it. You must actually find out the lawyer who very familiarized with a buy and sell agreement. Yeah.
Wow. I think this is
Why?
something. I don't know whether many people know about this one or not, but I think this is something really very important, especially when nowadays so many new companies and a lot of company owners don't really know about this kind of things, and especially in this situation. So it's very useful information, Kaka. This is something that we can explore more about. Yeah. Okay. Let's just take some time to go and say hello to our guests. We have a lot of guests. Jessica, you have your good friend Shano inside watching you. He said hi to you. Hi, Chano. Thank you for supporting. Hi,
Hello.
Sharon. Swan Yong says either way you pay. Desmond is here. Desmond is our WeChat guy, a specialist in WeChat. Hi, Desmond. Thank you very much for joining us. And Sherry is also with us today. Connie Pen. Connie is one of your friends. Yep. Okay, so let's just continue. I think we are talking about something very, very important. A lot of people have putting off not listening to, but something that we should really, really know, man. And okay, I have some questions that, what's the time? Okay, I have last 20 minutes. I've got some questions I'd like to take from some of the audience who have previously messaged me. Let me just have a look at that. Okay, maybe this question I can direct at Daniel.
Oh, okay.
I don't know whether if this is you or Jessica can answer. Have you encountered this question where people ask, how can insurance help to pay off mortgages? Can that be done? Have you ever had customers who ask these questions?
Yes. Actually, okay. In terms on banks, right, most of the time when banks they give up the mortgage loan, right, they will look in terms on getting like MRTA or MLTA. So in forms of insurance, if you deal with the insurance company, will be life insurance lah, to make it
Yeah.
simple.
Mm.
So at the point of death, the mortgage will be paid off because you give to the next in kin, the next kin can say settle the property. Okay, when it comes to scenario, let's say both party is alive, I mean alive lah and well. So because most insurance nowadays are linked, we call it investment link. So it's linked with investment, that's cash value, and it capital appreciates like property. So as a certain years have goes by, maybe you can withdraw and you can help to pay off your mortgage. So of course, if it grows to a nice pot of money, then you can clear your property mortgage faster. Lor. I think that's pretty much it lah. I hope that answer your question, whichever who asked that question.
But again, still dwelling on this question, right? Maybe Jessica, can you help me with this question, right? Say if let's say right now, assuming I have bought some insurance quite some time ago and right now maybe due to this moratorium over, I still don't have my job, and I cannot afford to pay my house installment. Can I take out money from insurance to pay for my installment?
So to answer you simply, depending on what type of insurance you're referring to, if it's an investment linked policy, then if there's sufficient cash value inside to keep the policy in force, you can actually take out a portion of it to help you to get through
Yeah,
this period of time.
yeah, correct.
Yeah, because the property loan moratorium is automatic opted in. Unless you opted out, you actually don't have to start paying your property loans until October onwards.
But
So
a lot
actually,
of people are very crucial because of after October, then maybe the next 6 months.
yes, in the next 6 months, if they foresee that they have difficulty in paying the property loan, what they can do, one of the options that they can consider is to possibly look into the cash values of their policies that they have on hand and what they can actually take out to help them to keep afloat in terms of other commitments. Or if that would be something that is not a choice, the person can actually have a discussion, make an arrangement with their bank loan officer for the property loan, and they will actually on hand to look into restructuring the loan
Yeah,
to ensure it's serviceable going forward.
yeah. Apparently, this is what the banks are saying, that after the end of this moratorium in September, those of you who are still having issues with paying your installment can actually go in and speak. But this is not going to be automatic. This is where you have to
Yeah.
speak personally to the bankers to see if you can solve this problem and get an extension in terms of moratorium. Still at the question of this taking out money from your insurance, right, Jessica? If let's say you were to, now it's difficult times, so you need to withdraw a certain amount. Then maybe 6 months later, my business improved, I got better. Is there any way I can put back the money inside? Is there
Definitely,
such a thing?
yes, you can do a single top up to increase the sustainability of the policy so that it can sustain longer going forward, because it's all about having sufficient cash value in the investment linked policy so that the policy can be kept alive longer in the future years, in the
It's,
layman's.
it's not like a bank account, right? Because like okay, let's just say I took out 50,000, assuming I have, I don't know, 200,000-300,000, cash value. I want to take out 50,000 to sustain me for 6 months. Then when situation got better, when I take out this 50,000, what part of my benefit is my benefit reduced?
Depending on what type of policy it is, there is a possibility of the sum assured having to be lowered because you have taken out 50,000 from the cash value. Some policies may not have that reduction in sum assured. It's just a plain reduction in cash value. So it's a case basis depending on what type of policy you're taking.
So
The main impact would be definitely the reduction in the cash value part. So let's say that original existing 200,000 cash value in the account, am I right? It's supposed to last, the policy is supposed to last you until 80 years old, for example. But because you have taken out this 50,000, it will affect the sustainability of the policy to maybe 75 or 72 or 70. It will depending on the cost of insurance later on as we go on.
So if I top up back, then it will extend back.
Yes, correct. Then you're like increasing your pelampong again lah. You increase your float again to keep your policy alive a little bit longer again.
Okay, is it very troublesome to do this kind of withdrawal?
No, it usually takes about usually about 14 working days for the money to be disbursed to the clients.
Okay. Is there many people currently, I mean, there are people in your customer base got do this kind of things right now?
Personally, I don't have any clients having to
Kaka, have you encountered any clients that having to do this?
So far, no. So because I think our clients, right, is kind of very clear objective why they actually took up insurance. Yeah, in the first
So
place.
you
Yeah, they really have that kind of.
so you don't foresee in the next few months, like in October moratorium ends, right? You don't foresee some of your customers might ask about might go into this.
That one, we might not be sure, but it's just that most of
Yeah.
our client, right, actually they really focus on their income protection. Really, yeah. So they want to make sure if anything must be, this is the first thing they have to replace their income for X number of years. So they do not want to even touch, they just
Don't
there to protect
get
them.
affected lah. Mm.
Yes, correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I think this is probably applicable for those like middle level people, where stop working, they have no money, probably
They might
something
think,
like that lah. Okay, I want to ask about something that a lot of people are asking this question. Maybe Kaka, you can advise. A lot of people, when you buy property nowadays, right, they always automatically have this MRTA, MLTA, all these kind of things, right? But what's the difference? MLTA, MRTA.
okay, for example, now let's talk about MRTA lah. Okay, if let's say you talk about MRTA, right, it's very simple. One thing, okay, if let's say, right, if anything happened to you, the money go to where? Go to the bank. Correct.
For this is
MRTA.
MRTA.
Yeah,
Okay.
the main difference, okay. Second is that if you let's say get MLTA or maybe you get like MRTA replacement through insurance, if something happened to you, the money will go to the beneficiary.
Okay.
Yeah. I give a very simple example. That's how actually I explain to my client. So for example, Tim, let's say you have an MRTA. So if anything happened to you, so basically your wife don't have option and actually have this property back in hand. So she will own the property, which is good, means that she's safe. You leave an asset for her. Good,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
But if let's say you have a MLTA or maybe like MRTA replacement through insurance, for example, because that money actually, if something happened to you, will go to the beneficiary. It will not go to the bank. So basically, the beneficiary have a choice whether or not want to use this money to pay off the loan and take the property. Okay. And secondly, maybe let the bank take the property. I do not want, but I need the cash to do something else. Maybe this person
Okay.
don't have husband anymore in Malaysia, for example. Maybe I want to migrate somewhere else because I need cash. Or I need to go to somewhere else. Yeah. So you have a two option, whether or not you want to own this property or you want to use the money to do something else. Because the money goes to you, doesn't go to the bank.
That will be MLTA.
Yes,
MR.
correct.
Oh, MLTA,
No,
sorry.
ML, correct. ML.
Yeah, yeah.
MRTA is go to the beneficiary. MRTA go to the bank.
Okay. If there is a case, then MLTA sounds better.
Yeah, that's why long. Yeah,
More flexible lah. I would say better lah. I cannot say better.
Yeah, not actually also protecting the house, protecting the property, but it's just that if you take MLTA, means that the person actually has more options because you receive the lump sum of money and you can think whether or not you want to pay off the loan and own the property, or maybe you don't want the property and use this money to do something else.
But if MLTA is so flexible and so good, let's per se lah, why people still go for MLTA then? Why don't everybody just go MLTA?
Because MLTA is more expensive.
Oh, a lot more expensive?
It depends on how much loan you take as well. Yeah.
I can actually add on that is for MRTA, it's 5% of the total loan amount. So in a way, you can either pay an installment. Usually the bank add it throughout the loan lah. So you're paying interest of it. And based in my experience, MRTA doesn't fully cover the property as well. If let's say if your intention is to take the insurance to cover the property, because I've experienced where when they take out an MRTA, the person passed away less than 5 years. Unfortunately, it's just you're paying interest. So there is still a lump sum of money which your next of kin have to take care in order to own the property. So so put it this way, in the sense that usually why most people take MRTA is so because the bank push it. Usually the bank say, hey, if you want to get a good rate, must have the MRTA in their account.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
take it more.
correct. And actually based in Bank Negara, they're not supposed to force you to take MRTA lah.
It's not
Technically,
You have a choice.
So what we usually, some of my clients, they smart lah, those smart investors, they say, okay, fine, I just take a minimum MRTA,
Right.
and then later
Okay.
they just meet their insurance agent to buy a good sum assured lah. So
Correct.
you can do it like that. That means you still
You
enjoy your
can,
good rates.
but you can,
Regard,
ma'am. I thought they will assure
No,
the amount of
can
the
do.
property.
you can choose the amount. I think most people do not know that. So
Yeah.
wait, any bankers here? No, I scared after some bankers terasa, But
No,
actually
this,
you can. You can yeah,
yeah.
you can tell them you want a minimal MRTA, maybe short term, because MRTA also have different term. They can go 5 years. Oh, and talking about that, MRTA also something can be quite dangerous because some people think, oh, I got MRTA fully covered, but what they
Uh,
don't realize, their term is only 5 years, and then if the person pass away in the 6th year, habis loh. There's suddenly no insurance, and you're like, huh, got no insurance, finish. You have to take care in terms of whatever balance in terms of the outstanding. So I would advise people out there, do check out your MRTA term just to make sure that you're fully covered, because sometimes it also depends on the debt ratio, because when you take up loan, right, to buy a property, they will check out like what's your debt ratio. So if they find out your debt ratio is like quite high already, and this is including inside, if the MRTA is in your loan, then they will reduce the term or reduce the coverage. So bear in mind, do check on it lah. Most people kind of miss that out.
am I right to say MRTA protects the house? MLTA protects you. Is that? Can I say like that?
No, it protects the loan. MRTA protects the loan. So the
The
bank,
loan,
yeah,
the
yeah,
loan. Correct.
correct. It's the
As
loan, not
long
the
as
house.
I still have that loan, it protects the loan. But if I
Correct.
settle the loan already, no more protection.
Nope, gone. That means you get off. You, in a way, the purpose of the MRTA is for you to, the bank receive the money, and then you can own the property lah.
Yeah.
Then,
So if
yeah.
I
So
sell
that
if I sell the house, the loan no more already, then no more lah.
correct. Then you have to buy again lah. If you buy another property lah.
Yes, that's the disadvantage of having MRTA. They stick to the property like that. Yeah.
Hmm.
So actually
But I
find a
think
way. Daniel said, just find a way, team. If you want to get a very good rate, you just buy the minimum. Then the maximum sum assured you buy the insurance. That's it. You
Good,
enjoy
good
both.
strategy.
Yeah.
yeah, well, property investors out there, I think you all should learn from Kaka, from Daniel, from Jessica. They are very experienced. You see, that's why I keep telling nowadays I have this awareness is that insurance is so flexible. There's so many ways to. I don't use the word manipulate. That's a bad word to use. To design a package that is suitable for you. That's what. So that's what insurance is so powerful to do. Okay, let me just take some more questions. Oh, I think some of the guests are in again. Michelle Mack says MLTA, MRTA awareness is very good. Sean also says that good info on MRTA versus MLTA. I think these most property investors will always discuss about this MRTA, MLTA. You'll be very, very surprised. There's a lot of people out there who don't know the difference. Okay, so they are in a way like banks say must buy. Okay, have to buy lah. If not, interest rate kena. Interest rate nowadays is very low. Yeah, it's so low nowadays. For those of you who don't know, this is the 4th time in Malaysia that we have reduced our interest rate. So it's really, really good for investors, particularly right now towards the end of moratorium happening already. In fact, today also I just meet one more customer that is interested to purchase a property as well, because everyone is rushing to quickly apply loan now before the moratorium ends, and then the banks all will tighten the loan submission. So that's why. But hopefully, people who are buying property now, they can afford to sustain now. But anyway, the good thing about it is if you buy a new project, you don't have to worry because you are not paying now. As per se, as long as your loan is approved, you have 4 years, or 5 years to be able to go through the whole stage until the end of the 5 years where you start to pay again. Okay, I think I'll just take one more question. We're almost towards the end of our show, 5 minutes before the show ends. And one more question I have is, is insurance creditor proof? Okay, I totally don't understand this question, but I hope you guys can help out. Who can help? Jessica, you can help me with this question?
Yeah, sure. So creditor proof is meaning the amount of money after, let's say for example myself, okay, if I have asset of 1 million, but I also have a liabilities worth of 1.5 million, okay. So but on top of the 1 million of assets, I also have 2 million of insurance, which would go to my mother. Okay, so the thing what would happen is my assets are not creditor proof. So the liabilities, which is the creditors such as banks, my business suppliers, they
Okay.
can go after my assets and liquidate my assets in the estate so that they
I see what you mean already.
okay. And then the biggest creditor in Malaysia is LHDN.
Okay, yes, everybody will agree that.
Okay, so it always starts with LHDN, then only it goes down to banks, then it goes down to paying off other creditors down the
Yes.
line.
Yes.
The beauty of insurance is the 2 million that will be paid out to my mother cannot be touched by any banks, any income tax officers, cannot be touched by any alongs. Technically,
Okay.
it is creditor proof. So she can use that 2 million to enjoy the rest of her life.
Yeah, I guess
To put
you're right. I guess.
the
So that's what you mean by okay, by creditor proof.
put it in the simplest layman way. Yes.
Okay, okay, that is logic. So it's really important that people really understand all these kind of things. Otherwise, people don't understand and they keep ignoring it. Especially now at this current situation, everybody should be more aware. So for those of you who are interested to know more, I have Jessica, I have Kaka, and Daniel that you can speak to. Daniel is more into properties. If you're looking at property investment, where is a good place to invest properties? Daniel is your man, right? Yeah. Okay. No, Daniel is not single, by the way. Okay. Uh, Again, back to a bit about wills. I want to talk back about some wills. Okay. Is there how young can you have a will? Can you start a will? Is there an age limit?
Okay, what I've actually read up in terms on will, because when you're 18, I mean, before you're 18, you cannot touch in terms of asset. It'll be frozen in terms
Mm,
hold up in terms on the Amna Raya or whoever in terms of estate.
mm.
So I would think into the youngest to have a will, you should be about 19 years old lah, to have a will. And usually what we put in terms on a will, it depends on also what are the things that you have, the assets that you have, and then you may consider of putting because just to make it's like kind of like planning. Like if you do your insurance life planning, this is like your death planning, meaning you know what you want to do later when you're no longer in this world. So I use like kind if you tell like okay, this one goes to here, this one pays for this, all this can be written in the will. But I think the best person maybe you can ask is Jessica and Kaka because usually insurance
Yeah,
you would have your will license as
yeah.
well, right?
I really want to listen because you know why a lot of us really hate planning. That is one of the reason, right? You talk about will, you don't want because like you have to sit down, go line by
Pantang,
line.
pantang, pantang.
I,
Sometimes also they always go about pantang, like you think that I'm going to die so soon, I must write will already.
okay, but
Oh,
pantang is something nowadays people. I correct me if I'm wrong, Jessica. Kaka. Nowadays people are not so pantang towards all these uh insurance. Those days people yes people are more, but now people are more educated, not so pantang. And wills, a lot more people are more interested to find out more.
Yeah.
Especially when you just now said that it can be anything, can be a bicycle, can be your $6,000 handphone for all that matters, right?
Yes.
Kaka, can you give us more advice about wills?
Okay,
For layman like me.
actually, yes, wills is important. Like a lot of people say that as long as it, regardless how much you have, if you actually put everything written in will, is good because it's clear. Yeah. So first is that you do not even need to actually go through the distribution act, whereby it takes longer. When you
Mm-mm.
just know will, basically you need to apply for LA, letter of administration, so it takes longer. So one thing, okay, now let's talk about will and let's say for example will and insurance. Why some people say that I put in the will is good, yeah, but then you have to think about this that in order to actually get the for will you have to get the apply for the grant of probate, and it takes about 2 to 6 months to get it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now, let's say I ask you a question now. You put, for example, people always love to keep their money into their bank, right?
Mm.
FD. So do you think that if let's say even I do a will for this FD, right? I say, for example, I have a 3 million FD. I actually put this down in the will, say that if anything happened to me, this money, let's say, belongs to my spouse, for example. But do you think that for example, my spouse really need the money immediately, and the grant of probate maybe take 2 to 6 months. So how my
Mm.
spouse going to survive?
Yep, that's right.
Right? If let's
Okay.
say my spouse don't work, let's say now I'm a man, like, don't say a woman, and my spouse actually is housewife. She doesn't work. She needs to actually continue paying, let's say, school fee, that sort, right? She needs cash. So you ask me to, hey, children, don't go to school until
6 months.
COVID ends, then I get my money after 6 months. So the 7 months, maybe I can send you to school. Can you say that? You can't, right?
Cannot.
That's why the insurance money come into the picture, because it's the immediate cash that you get, liquid and immediate cash that you can actually utilize it immediately to support your lifestyle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I would
Then
like.
yeah, you want to put will is good, because if I say you don't have will, for example, property, like I think earlier on we mentioned, you put a property when there's no will, right? Then it will be very, very complicated, because you need to follow the Distribution Act. Let's say if you have a lot of children, you got, all your children got wife, all this, So sometimes, the wife will be asking, hey, how, are you getting your part? All this kind of thing, So you don't want to have a conflict when someone pass away, right? Daniel, you can add on? Yeah.
Yeah, because like just to give you my experience, my grandmother actually just passed away 2 months ago. So she has a will. She actually told her will and wrote wills. So of course, most people assume also when they have a will, oh, everything is settled, everything can be dispersed. But what they don't understand is that the lawyer still has to go to court. So in a way, they have to arrange lah to the court your hearing, which day, and it may take some time, especially when during the MCO period, right? The lawyer told me that you'll be in the queue, and it depends when I can actually go. And before that, they also have to find the witnesses that sign your will. So what happened in my grandma's case? The witness suddenly I call one of the witness is no longer in Malaysia. Then like, oh no. And then
Oh, no.
and the second witness I call suddenly cannot get, it's like just call and you cannot get. So in a way, I asked the lawyer, so what happened, if I cannot get the witness? He said, oh, sorry, you have to get the witness. And I was like, oh my God. And then that delayed some more. So in a way, I asked the lawyer again, so what's the worst case scenario? If let's say I cannot, find the witness. So what I got in terms of what he advised, actually Rock Wheels advised me lah, and they told me that there's what they have experienced is that you got to post in the newspaper. Let's say post in Facebook, post in newspaper, say that I'm looking for this witness for my grandma's will. And let's say there's no response in, let's say, months. So what will happen is the lawyer will use that as a point in doing court to say, we try to locate the witness. Unfortunately, we cannot find. Please go ahead with the true of the unfrozen the assets and so forth, or disperse whatever you need to disperse. So in a way, if let's say if we didn't have insurance, and let's say we need our money lah, that would be an issue ma. So for example, like what Kaka mentioned, let's say a housewife, imagine even you got a will, right, and you got no insurance, suddenly you just wait, even in your bank has 50 million, for example, but you cannot touch that 50 million, until all this is sorted out, until you pay off your creditors, then only you can see whatever balance. So to add in also with Jessica, is true. Insurance is the only thing that it escapes all this, because every time when in terms of your asset you have to pay off everyone first. Your family is actually the last in the pyramid lah. So when you have insurance, it will terbalikkan lah. So the first will be your family, and then later you think which one you want to settle in terms of the cash that you have lah, pretty much.
Now, I tell you, the three of you, right? Today I started the day very happier, But now I got more stress because
Oh,
I've got thinking of so many things. Because
you better call Kaka, you better call Jessica.
yeah, now that I learned so many things, right? I got so many things going through my mind that okay, do I need to do this? Do I need to do this? Yeah, but it's really important now. And most of the time is that we are very happy-go-lucky until when things happen. That's where it's like, yeah, I should have done this. Yeah, I should have done that. Okay, so anyway, our time is up already. We talk, time pass very fast one. Okay, before we part, I would like you guys to give the audience an advice on how to survive through this COVID virus. I think one of the most important thing is that we want to learn from this current situation that we're facing. For those of them who were not prepared this round, how can they prepare themselves so that if ever something like that happen again, right? How do they be prepared? Like for example, to have money in the insurance that they can take out to spend, stuff like that. Maybe Daniel, you can share some thoughts from your side.
Okay, for me, because I'm in the property line,
Yeah,
so
coming from
maybe
property side.
yeah. So what I could advise is that because during a crisis, that's when not only that people are affected, but even developers are affected. So you can see very good packages, good rebates, good discounts. A lot of properties they are willing to give a lot of, even sometimes some properties are willing to give car as well. So what my advice I can guess as a new home buyer or a first home buyer, I would think that it's a good time to check it out right now. Then you can do your planning. So I think that's pretty much the advice I can give to your audience.
Yeah, I think I also can add to that since I'm a property guy. Right now is a very, very good time because the developers, you see, property developers, the government, they are all siding buyers. They want to encourage buyers to buy property. That's why government is giving all this HOC and this whole grant thing, you know. And developers are giving like out of the world specials. I don't want to say anything,
Oh
but out of
yeah,
the world
yeah.
special. You got to go and check it out. Really, they are crazy, right? So it's like the best time, and if you can get loan approved, you should celebrate if you can get your loan
Leverage,
approved.
yeah,
Yeah,
leverage
yeah,
on
yeah,
it.
yeah. Okay. Maybe Jessica, you want to say something about advice to our audience? Team
For me,
Jessica, I got some audience list calling.
for me, I think it's for speaking on the experiences that I have dealing with some of my clients is I think it's very important for the younger generation to start a habit of saving. Okay, and when I say saving, it's really saving and not touching the money. Not when you save got 15, 20,000. Oh, okay, I take 10,000, go and pusing one round in Tokyo holiday. You
Wow, that
know,
one is
it's
very, very hard to do. Oh, seriously.
okay,
I-
it's really saving it, putting it aside, and then transferring that saving into an investment vehicle that can help you to grow your money further. Because in any crisis situation, there's always good side and the bad side. Okay, like we always know that in crisis there's always opportunity as well.
yes.
Okay, when you don't, but how do you take advantage of the opportunity when you don't have the resources? And when I say resources, it's really money we're talking about.
Yes. Correct.
With all the share prices dropping, with all the good property deals out there, okay, with all the good unit trust opportunities to go into right now, what can you do about it if you don't have any savings at all to tap
True.
into, to turn
True.
into investments, to let money to grow money for you, make your money work harder for you,
True.
especially with the interest rates being so low at 1.75% in July. It's set to go down further to 1.5% going
Mm,
forward.
mm,
It will come to a point where fixed deposit right now the rate is less than 2%.
mm.
No banks dare to do promote FD rate for 6 months or 12 months already. It's all 3 months only right now.
Yes,
So
correct, correct.
really a point that I would want to raise to everyone, not just to the young generation. If you don't, in this episode, you don't even have 6 months of salary to get you by, it's time to rethink your priorities in life.
Correct.
Yeah, that would be my advice.
Very, very, very good insight. Thank you, Jessica. And Kaka, what are your parting words? What do you have advice for the people out there?
Okay, one thing about my advice, right? I always believe in a balanced portfolio. Somehow that is something that I truly believe. Yeah, so like Tim mentioned and Daniel mentioned about now property market is very good. If you really have money, like sitting in the bank, it's fine to just you get property and you know that at a very very good price because you know that the capital appreciation, the property appreciation in the future, you definitely will create that asset for you. Okay, but at the same time you also once you actually own it, remember to protect it. Yeah,
Mm,
through another way of doing it, which is through insurance to protect it because you don't want to give your loved one halfway hanging. I give you this, but then I don't know at the end of the day I'm giving you asset or liability, right?
yeah, 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 yeah. That's right.
Definitely, yeah. So it's good that you just give fully asset to them. Another thing is that what I realized, like a lot of people will talk to me, right? Like those referral from my clients when they ask me, Kaka, just look at my policy and you just tell me what you think about it. Sometimes it's very, very weird that a lot of people out there, they have been paying premium every single month, but they do not even know what they have. Yes.
Okay.
I really have no I mean, I have no idea why that is even this happening whereby you use your hard-earned money to pay for the premium, but you totally do not know what you're paying for. Yeah, what you are covered for. And when I ask them, the next question is that why Aren't you ask people who are doing in insurance, who are doing insurance? And the first thing they answer me is that I'm so scared. They ask me to buy more. I'm so scared to buy more. They push me to actually buy more. So there's always this stigma in people's,
Yeah,
mind.
yeah,
I would rather just keep this with me forever rather than I ask for advice from other people, because later I'm being pushed to buy more, and now market is bad, and like I don't have extra money to actually pay for insurance. You
mm,
have this kind of stigma in your mind. So what something that I would love to actually give an advice is that I believe, you do not need to actually go to me or go to Jessica, but I believe that in your circle, you can definitely find people who are really, really sincere financial consultant. Really, really sincere. Maybe not one, not two, but trust me, if you can find 10 of them, I don't think that 10 of them also is like that. Yeah. You can really find someone who really, really sincerely to share with you what currently you have and what you need or what you do not need. Yeah, it's fine. At least you understand. And I believe a lot of people are glad to actually tell you that, you do not actually need to even up or upgrade, but at least understand what you're paying. That is very important.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think most of people agree, right? We are using hard-earned money to pay for it, but at least you understand what you have. Whether or not if something happens, what you have will help you or not. If it doesn't help you, then what's the point you getting the insurance in the first place?
yeah. I
Yeah.
think I agree. Thank you, Kaka. I very, very agree with what Kaka say. The people out there, they will know more about the specs of their iPhone 12 or iPhone 11 than their insurance policy, probably.
And if
Because
something happens, right, something happened, the first thing they want to look back is the insurance, not the iPhone 12, right?
Yeah.
If something,
yeah,
they go to hospital, wow, let me call my insurance agent, all this, yeah. So I think it's just that just find those people who are, in your circles that I believe that they are really sincere to help you. Just find an advice from them. Yeah. Because really will make things difference in your life.
good. You see, audience out there, when you are looking for partners, vendors, or people to work with, people like Daniel, who is in the property, people like Jessica and Kaka, who is in the insurance, these are some of they are actually your business partner as per se. When you invest in a property, you have Daniel, who is somebody who is advising you and telling you what to buy. They are not trying to earn money from you just for the sake of earning money from you, because I think we in this industry, we do this out of passion. Then only comes the to bring money home. Okay, but if we don't have passion, it's very difficult for us to be able to give you a good solution. So people like Jessica, Kaka, and Daniel, three of them, they work with passion. So I would suggest, when you are out there, if you're looking for property, if you're looking for insurance, look for somebody, a partner they can work with, that can be your partner, business partner, that you can work together for long term, and you can have more information. I agree fully with what Kaka said. Find out more about insurance. I am guilty also. Too many fine prints cannot read. I always blame it that, no, too many fine prints cannot read. But a good insurance partner would be able to explain all that to you instead of you having to read. We all Malaysian people lazy to read. Again, okay, I thank you again very much for the audience who have been with us the whole last 1 hour. We still have people who are saying hi. Emily Ma says very insightful session. Thank you, Emily, for joining us. Tammy says thank you for sharing. And Desmond really support Kaka. Desmond, go Kaka. Okay, Desmond stayed throughout the whole show. So, all right, thank you very much. And I thank you again, Daniel, Jessica, and Kaka, for all the information you provided. Like I said, I came here, never think anything. Now I'm thinking a lot of things. I'm going to go back sleep. I go think a lot of things. I'll be calling you, Kaka, a lot, to get advice from you. Okay, thanks again for your time. Thanks, audience, again for joining us on Saturday. And this is Timothy, Jessica, Daniel. Oh, by the way, if let's say you want to contact any of them, call me. I'll connect you guys together. I normally don't practice putting their contact numbers in public because this is still a public place. Yeah. All right. So this is Timothy, Daniel, Jessica, and Kaka signing off for the night. Good night and bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.